Hello, good afternoon, especially to our instructor, Dr. Irish Hazel Haim, and also to my fellow masterminds. I am Amy Makig-angay from Tinat National High School, Dumalinao District.
And I am Richines Makig-angay of Tigbao National High School.
And we are your reporters today. Today, we will be talking about job analysis and design. So, what is job analysis? Job analysis is a systematic exploration, study, and recording the responsibilities, duties, skills, accountabilities, work environment, and ability requirements of a specific job. It also involves determining the relative importance of the duties, responsibilities, and physical and emotional skills for a given job. All these factors identify and what an employee must possess to perform a job productively. What does job analysis involve? The process of job analysis involves in-depth investigation in order to control the output. That is, get the job performed successfully. The process helps in finding out what particular department requires and what prospective worker needs to deliver. It also helps in determining particulars about the job, including job title, job location, job summary, duties involved, working conditions, possible hazards and machines, tools, equipment, and materials to be used by the existing or potential employee. However, the process is not limited to the determination of these factors only. It also extends to finding out the necessary human qualifications to perform the job. This include establishing the levels of education, experience, judgment, training, initiative, leadership skills, physical skills, communication skills, responsibility, accountability, emotional characteristics, and usual sensory demands. This factor change according to the type, seniority level, industry, and rest involved in a particular job. What is the importance of job analysis? The details collected by the conducting job analysis play an important role in controlling the output of a particular job. Determining the success of job depends on the unbiased, proper, and thorough job analysis. It also helps in recruiting the right people for a particular job. The main purpose of conducting this whole process is to create and establish a perfect fit between the job and employee. Job analysis also helps HR managers in deciding the compensation package and additional perks and incentives for a particular job position. It effectively contributes in assessing the training needs and performance of existing employees. This process forms the basis to design and establish the strategies and policies to fulfill organizational goals and objectives. However, analysis of a particular job does not guarantee that the managers or organizations would get the desired output. Actually, collecting and recording information for a specific job involves several complications. If the job information is not accurate and checked from time to time, an employee will not be able to perform his duty well until and unless he is not aware of what he is supposed to do or what is expected of him. Chances are that the time and energy spent on a particular job analysis is a sure wastage of human resources. Therefore, proper care should be taken while conducting job analysis. A thorough and unbiased investigation or duty or study, rather, of a specific job is good for both the managers and the employees. The managers get to know whom to hire and why. They can feel a place with the right person. On the other hand, the existing or potential employee gets to know what and how he is supposed to perform the job and what is the desired output. Job analysis creates a right fit between the job and the employee. What is the purpose of job analysis? As discussed already, job analysis involves collecting and recording job-related data such as knowledge, skills required to perform a job, duties, responsibilities involved, education, qualifications, and experience required, and physical and emotional characteristics required to perform a job in a desired manner. The main purpose of conducting a job analysis process is to use this particular information to create a right fit between job and employee, to assess the performance of an employee, to determine the worth of a particular task, and to analyze the training and development needs of an employee delivering that specific job. Let's understand the concept with the help of an example. If the job of an executive sales manager is to be analyzed, the first and foremost thing would be to determine the worth of this job. Then the next step is to analyze whether the person is able to deliver what is expected of him. It also helps in knowing if he or she is perfect for this job. The process does not finish here. It also involves collection of other important facts and figures such as job location, department or division, compensation, grade, job duties, routine tasks, computer, educational, communicational, and physical skills. MS activities, reporting structure, ability to adapt in given environment, leadership skills, licenses and certifications, ability to grow and close sales, ability to handle clients, superiors and subordinates, and of course, the presentation of an individual. The purpose of job analysis. Job analysis plays an important role in recruitment and selection job evaluation. Job deciding compensation and benefits packages, performance appraisal, analyzing training and development needs, assessing the worth of job and increasing personnel as well as organizational productivity. Recruitment and selection. Job analysis helps in determining what kind of person is required to perform a particular job. It points out the educational qualifications, level of experience, and technical, physical, emotional, and personal skills required to carry out a job desired fashion. The objective is to fit a right person at the right place. Next is the performance analysis. Job analysis is done to check if goals and objectives of a particular job are met or not. It helps in deciding the performance standards, evaluation criteria, and individual's output. On this basis, the overall performance of an employee is measured and he or she is appraised accordingly. Next is training and development. Job analysis can be used to assess the training and development needs of employees. The difference between the expected and actual output determines the level of training that needs to be imparted to employees. It also helps in deciding the training content, tools, and equipments to be used to conducting training and methods of training. Next is the compensation and management, or the compensation management. Of course, job analysis plays a vital role in deciding the pay packages and extra perks and benefits and fixed and variable incentives of employees. After all, the pay package depends on the position, job title, and the duties and responsibilities involved in a job. The process guides HR managers in deciding the worth of an employer for a particular job opening. Next, the job designing and redesigning. The main purpose of job analysis is to streamline the human efforts and get the best possible output. It helps in designing, redesigning, enriching, evaluating, and also cutting back and adding the extra responsibility in a particular job. This is done to enhance the employee satisfaction while increasing the human output. So therefore, job analysis is one of the most important functions of an HR manager or department. This helps in fitting the right kind of talent and the right place and at the right time. The job analysis process. Where to place the employees in order to best utilize their skills and talent. How to determine the need of a new employee in the organization. How to eliminate unneeded jobs. How to set realistic performance measurement standards. And how to identify the jobs and prepare a plan to fill them. Well, all this can be effectively done by a proper and thorough job analysis. Managers, though such kinds of challenges in day-to-day company operations where they need to effectively and efficiently fulfill the organization's requirements related to human resource recruitment, selection, performance, satisfaction, and cutting down and adding extra responsibilities and duties. And there is no scope where they can avert the rest of being wrong. An effective and right process of analyzing a particular job is a great relief for them. It helps them maintain the right quality of employees, measure their performance on realistic standards, assess their training and development needs, and increase their productivity. Let's discuss the job analysis process and find out how it serves the purpose. Identification of job analysis purpose. Well, any process is futile until its purpose is not identified and defined. Therefore, the first step in the process is to determine its need and desired output. Spending human efforts, energy as well as money is useless until HR managers don't know why data is to be collected and what is to be done with it. Next, who will conduct job analysis? The second most important step in the process of job analysis is to decide who will conduct it. Some companies prefer getting it done by their own HR department, while some hire job analysis consultants. Job analysis consultants may prove to be extremely helpful as they offer unbiased advice, guidelines, and methods. They don't have any personal likes and dislikes when it comes to analyze a job. How to conduct the process. Deciding the way in which job analysis process needs to be conducted is surely the next step. A planned approach about how to carry the whole process required in order to investigate a specific job. Strategic decision making. Now is the time to make strategic decision. It's about deciding the extent of employee involvement in the process, the level of the details to be collected and recorded, sources from where the data is to be collected, data collection methods, the processing of information and segregation of collected data, training of job analysts. Next is to train the job analysts about how to conduct the process and use the select methods for collection and recording of job data. Preparation of job analysis process. Communicating it within the organization is the next step. HR managers need to communicate the whole thing properly so that employees offer their full support to the job analyst. The stage also involves preparation of documents, questionnaires, interviews, and feedback forms. Data collection. Next is to collect job-related data, including educational qualifications of employees, skills and abilities required to perform the job, working conditions, job activities, reporting hierarchy, required human traits, job activities, duties and responsibilities involved, and employees' behavior. Documentation, verification, and review. Proper documentation is done to verify the authenticity of collected data and then review it. This is the final information that is used to describe a specific job. Developing job description and job specification. Now is the time to segregate the collected data into useful information. Job description describes the roles, activities, duties, and responsibilities of job, while job specification is a statement of educational qualification, experience, personal trait, and skills required to perform the job. Thus, the process of job analysis helps in identifying the worth of a specific job, utilizing the human talent in the best possible manner, eliminating unneeded jobs, and setting realistic performance measurement standards. What to collect during job analysis? Gathering job-related information involves lots of efforts and time. The process may become cumbersome if the main objective of it is not known. Any information can be gathered and recorded, but may be hazardous for health and finances of an organization if it is not known what is required and why. Before starting to conduct a job analysis process, it is very necessary to decide what type of content or information is to be collected and why. The purpose of this process may be ranged from uncovering hidden dangers to the organization or creating a right job person fit, establishing effective hiring practices, analyzing training needs, evaluating a job, analyzing the performance of an employee, setting organizational standards, and so on. Each one of these objectives requires different type of information or content. While gathering job-related content, a job analyst or the dedicated person should know the purpose of the action and try to collect data as accurate as possible. Though, the data collected is later are divided into two sets, job descriptions and the job specification. But the information falls in three different categories during the process of analyzing a specific job contents, and job requirements. What to collect? First, the job content, next, job context, and the third one, job requirements. Job content. It contains information about various job activities included in a specific job. It is a detailed account of actions which an employee needs to perform during tenure. The following information needs to be collected by job analysts. First, duties of an employee. Next, what actually an employee does. Third, machine, tools, and equipment to be used while performing a specific job. Additional tasks involved in a job. The content depends upon the type of job in a particular division or department. For example, job content of a factory line worker would be entirely different from that of a marketing executive or an HR personnel. Job context. Job context refers to the situation or condition under which an employer performs a particular job. The information collection will include working conditions, rest involved, whom to report, who will report to him or her, hazards, physical and mental demands, then the last, judgment. While like job content, data collected under this category are also subject to change according to the type of job in a specific division or department. Job requirements. This include basic and specific requirements which make a candidate eligible for a particular job. The collected data includes knowledge or basic information required to perform a job successfully. Next, specific skills such as communication skills, IT skills, operational skills, motor skills, processing, and so on. Personal ability, including aptitude, reasoning, manipulative abilities, handling sudden and unexpected situations, resolving ability, mathematical abilities, and so on. Educational qualifications, including degree, diploma, certification, or license. Personal characteristics such as ability to adapt to different environment, endurance, willingness, work ethic, eagerness to learn and understand things, behavior towards colleagues, subordinates and seniors, sense of belongingness to the organization, and etc. For different jobs, the parameters would be different. They depend upon the type of job, designation, compensation, grade, and responsibilities, and rest involved in a job. Job analysis methods. Though there are several methods of collecting job analysis information, yet choosing the one or combination of more than one method depends upon the needs and requirements of organization and the objectives of job analysis process. Typically, all the methods focus on collecting the basis job-related information, but when used in combination may bring out the hidden or overlooked information and prove to be great tools for creating a perfect job candidate fit. Selecting an appropriate job analysis method depends on the structure of the organization, hierarchical levels, nature of job and responsibilities, and duties involved in it. So before executing any method, all advantages and disadvantages should be analyzed because the data collected through this process serve as a great deal and helps organizations cope with current market trends and organizational changes, high attrition rate, and many other day-to-day problems. Let us now discuss a few of job analysis methods that are commonly used by the organizations to investigate the demands of a specific job. So, job analysis methods. Most common methods of job analysis is observation method. A job analyst observes an employee and records all his performed and non-performed tasks, fulfilled and unfulfilled responsibilities and duties, methods, ways, and skills used by him or her to perform various duties and his or her mental or emotional ability to handle challenges and risks. However, it seems one of the easiest methods to analyze a specific job, but truth is that it is the most difficult one. Why? Let's discover. It is due to the fact that every person has his own way of observing things. Different people think different and interpret the findings in different ways. Therefore, the process may involve personal biasness and or likes and dislikes and may not produce genuine results. This error can be avoided by proper training of job analysts or whoever will be conducting the job analysis process. This particular method includes 3 techniques: direct observation, work method analysis, and critical incident technique. The first method includes direct observation and recording of behavior of an employee in different situations. The second involves the study of time and emotion, and it's especially used for assembly line or factory workers. The third one is about identifying the work behaviors that result in performance. The interview method. In this method, an employee is interviewed so that he or she comes up with their own working styles, problems faced by them, use of particular skills and techniques while performing their job, and insecurities and fears about their careers. This method helps interviewer know what exactly an employee thinks about his or her own job and responsibility involved in it. It involves analysis of job by employee himself in order to generate honest and true feedback or collect genuine data. Questions asked during the interview should be carefully decided. And to avoid errors, it is also good to interview more than one individual to get a pool responses. Then it can be generalized and used for the whole group. Next, questionnaire method. Another commonly used job analysis method is getting the questionnaires filled from employees, their superiors, and managers. However, this method also suffers from personal biasness. A great care should be taken while framing questions for different grades of employees. In order to get the true job-related info, management should effectively communicate it to the staff that data collected will be used for their own good. It is very important to ensure them that it won't be used against against them in any way. It is not done properly. It will be a sheer wastage of time, money, and human resources. These are some of the most common methods of job analysis. However, there are several other specialized methods, including task inventory, job element method, competency profiling, technical conference, threshold traits, analysis system, and a combination of these methods. While choosing a method, HR managers need to consider time, cost, and human efforts included in conducting the process. Job analysis tools. Job analysis supports all other management activities including recruitment and selection, training and development need analysis, performance analysis and appraisal, job evaluation, job rotation, enrichment and enlargement, a right job individual fit creation, and regulation of entry and exit of talent in an organization. The process is the basis of all these important management activities. Therefore, requires solid ground preparation. A properly performed job analysis is adequate for laying strong organization foundation. There are various tools and techniques such as ONET model, PAQ model, FJA model or FJUS model, and competency model that help HR managers to develop genuine job description and job specification data. Though not very new, but these specialized tools and techniques are used by only a few of very high-profile organizations. Not very common in use, but once understood, these systematic approaches prove to be extremely useful for measuring the worth of any job in an organization. Job analysis tools. The ONET model. The beauty of this model is that it helps managers or job analysts in listing job-related data for a very large number of jobs simultaneously. It helps the collecting and recording basic and initial data, including educational requirements, physical requirements, and mental and emotional requirements to some extent. It also links the level of compensation and benefits, perks, and advantages to be offered to a prospective candidate for a specific job. The FJA model. FJA stands for Functional Job Analysis and helps in collecting and recording job-related data to a deeper extent. It is used to develop task-related statement developed by Finn and his colleagues. The technique helps in determining the complexity of duties and responsibilities involved in a specific job. This work-oriented technique works on the basis of relatedness of job data, where complexity of work is determined in a scale of various scores given to a particular job. The lower scores represents greater difficulty. Next is the PAQ or PQ. This model represents Position Analysis Questionnaire. This well-known and commonly used technique is used to analyze a job by getting the questionnaires filled by the job incumbents and their superiors. Designed by a trained and experienced job analyst, the process involves interviewing the subject matter experts and employees and evaluating the questionnaires on those basis. Next is the FJUS model, representing Fleischmann Job Analysis System. It is the basic and generic approach to discover common elements in different jobs, including verbal abilities, reasoning abilities, idea generation, quantitative abilities, attentiveness, spatial abilities, visual and other sensory abilities, manipulative abilities, reaction time, speed analysis, flexibility, emotional characteristics, physical strength, perceptual abilities, communication skills, memory, endurance, balance, coordination, and movement control abilities. Competency model. This model talks about the competencies of employees in terms of knowledge, skills, abilities, behaviors, expertise, and performance. It also helps in understanding what a prospective candidate requires at the time of entry in an organization at a particular designation in a given work. Environment and schedule. The model also includes some basic elements such as qualifications, experience, education, training, certifications, licenses, legal requirements, and willingness of a candidate. Job scan. This technique defines the personality dynamics and suggests an ideal job model. However, it does not discuss the individual competencies such as intellect, experience, or physical and emotional characteristics of an individual required to perform a specific job. Different tools can be used in different situations. Selection of an ideal job analysis tool depends upon job analysis needs and objectives and amount of time and resources. Problems with job analysis. No process can be entirely accurate and fully serves the purpose. Job analysis is no exception to it. The process involves a variety of methods, tools, plans, and a lot of human effort. And where people are involved, nothing can be 100% accurate. However, they may be appropriate considering various factors, including organizational requirements, time, effort, and financial resources. Since the entire job analysis process, methods, and tools are designed by humans only, they tend to have practical issues associated with them. Human brain suffers with some limitations. Therefore, everything created, designed, or developed by humans too have some or other constraints. Coming back to the subject, even the process of job analysis has a lot of practical problems associated with it. Though the process can be effective, appropriate, practical, efficient, and focused, but it can be costly, time-consuming, and disruptive for employees at the same time. It is because there are some typical problems that are encountered by a job analyst while carrying out the process. Let us discuss them and understand how the process of job analysis can be made more effective and treating them carefully. Problems with job analysis. Lack of management support. The biggest problem arises when a job analyst does not get proper support from the management. The top management needs to communicate it to the middle-level managers and employees to enhance the output or productivity of the process. In case of improper communication, employees may take it in a wrong sense and start looking out for other available options. They may have a notion that this is being carried out to fire them or take any actions against them. In order to avoid such circumstances, top management must effectively communicate the right message to their incumbents. Next is lack of cooperation from employees. If we talk about collecting authentic and accurate job data, it is almost impossible to get real and genuine data without the support of employees. If they are not ready to cooperate, it is a sure wastage of time, money, and human effort to conduct job analysis process. The need is to take the workers in confidence and communicating that it is being done to solve their problems. Inability to identify the need of job analysis. If the objectives and needs of job analysis process are not properly identified, the whole exercise of investigation and carrying out research is futile. Managers must decide in advance why this process is being carried out, what its objectives are, and what is to be done with the collected and recorded data. Next, this biasness of job analysts. A balanced and unbiased approach is a necessity while carrying out the process of job analysis. To get real and genuine data, a job analyst must be impartial in his or her approach. If it can't be avoided, it is better to outsource the process and hire a professional job analyst. Using single data source, a job analyst needs to consider more than one sources of data in order to collect true information. Collecting data from a single source may result in inaccuracy, and it therefore defeats the whole purpose of conducting the job analysis process. However, this is not the end. There may be many other problems involved in a job analysis process, such as insufficient time and resources, distortion from incumbent, lack of proper communication, proper questionnaires and other forms, absence of verification and review of job analysis process, and lack of reward and recognition for providing genuine quality information.
Job design, meanings, tips, and its benefits. Job design follows job analysis. Example, it is the next step after job analysis. It aims at outlining and organizing tasks, duties, and responsibilities into a single unit of work for the achievement of a certain objectives. It also outlines the methods and relationships that are essential for the success of a certain job. In simpler terms, it refers to the what, how much, how many, and the order of the task for a job or jobs. Job design essentially involves integrating job responsibilities or content and certain qualifications that are required to perform the same. It outlines the job responsibilities very clearly and also helps in attracting the right candidates to the right job. Further, it also makes the job look interesting and specialized. There are various steps involved in job design that follow a logical sequence. Those that were mentioned earlier on, the sequence is as follows. Number 1, what tasks are required to be done or what task is part of the job? Number 2, How are the tasks performed? Number 3, what amount or tasks are required to be done? And number 4, what is the sequence of performing these tasks? All these questions are aimed at arriving upon a clear definition of a specific job and thereby make it less risky for the one performing the same. A well-defined job encourages feeling of achievements among the employees and a sense of high self-esteem. The whole process of job design is aimed to address various problems within the organizational setup. Those that pertain to one's description of a job and the associated relationships. More specifically, the following areas are fine-tuned. First, checking of work overload. Next, checking upon the work underload. Next, ensuring tasks are not repetitive in nature. Next, ensuring that employees do not remain isolated. Next, defining working hours clearly. And the last, defining the work processes clearly. The above mentioned are factors that, if not taken care of, result into building stress within the employees. Benefits of job design. The following are the benefits of a good job design. Number 1, employee input. A good job design enables a good job feedback. Employees have the option to vary tasks as per their personal and social needs, habits, and circumstances in the workplace. Number 2, employee training. Training is an integral part of job design, contrary to the philosophy of leave them alone. Job design lays due emphasis on training people so that they will aware of what their job demands and how it is to be done. Number 3, work or rest schedules. Job design offers good work and rest schedule by clearly defining the number of hours an individual has to spend in his/her job. And number 4, adjustments. A good job design allows for adjustments for physically demanding jobs by minimizing the energy spent doing the job and by aligning the manpower requirements for the same. Job design is a continuous and ever-evolving process that is aimed at helping employees make adjustments within the changes in the workplace. The end goal is reducing dissatisfaction, enhancing motivation, and employee engagement at the workplace. Approaches to job design. Job design is the next step after job analysis that aims at aligning and organizing tasks and responsibilities associated with a certain job. It integrates job responsibilities and qualification or skills that are required to perform the same. There are various methods or approaches to do this. We are going to discuss the important ones. Human approach. The human approach of job design leads emphasis in designing a job around the people or employees and not around the organizational process. In other words, it recognizes the need of designing jobs that are rewarding and interesting in the same time. According to this approach, jobs should gratify an individual's need for recognition, respect, growth, and responsibility. Job enrichment, as popularized by Herzberg research, is one of the ways in human approach of job design. Herzberg classified these factors into two categories: the hygiene factors, and the motivators. Motivators include factors like achievement, work nature, responsibility, learning and growth, and others that can motivate an individual to perform better at the workplace. While hygiene factor, on the other hand, include things like working conditions, organizational policies, salary, and others that may not motivate directly, but the absence of which can lead to dissatisfaction at the workplace. Next is the engineering approach. The engineering approach was devised by F.W. Taylor et al. They introduced the idea of the task that gained prominence in due course of time. According to this approach, the work or task of each employee is planned by the management a day in advance. The instructions for the same are sent to each employee, describing the tasks to be undertaken in detail. The details include things like what, how, and when of the task along the time deadlines. The approach is based on the application of scientific principles to job design. Work accordingly to this approach should be scientifically analyzed, fragmented into logical tasks. Due emphasis is then laid on organizing the tasks so that a certain logical sequence is followed for efficient execution of the same. The approach is also lays due emphasis on compensating employees appropriately and training them continuously for work efficiency. Next, the job characteristics approach. The job characteristics approach was popularized by Hackman and Oldham. According to this approach, there is a direct relationship between job satisfaction and rewards. They said that employees will be their productive best and committed when they are rewarded appropriately for their work. They lay down 5 core dimensions that can be used to describe any job skill variety: task identity, task significance, autonomy, and feedback. Skills variety. The employees must be able to utilize all their skills and develop new skills while dealing with the job. Next is task identity. The extent to which an identifiable task or piece of work is required to be done for completion of the job. Next, task significance. How important is the job to the other people? What impact does it create on their lives? The next, autonomy. Does the job offer freedom and independence to the individual performing the same? And next is feedback. Feedback is necessary for improving performance. These are different approaches, but all of them point to more or less the same factors that need to be taken into consideration, like interest, efficiency, productivity, motivation, and others. All these are crucial to effective job design. Issues in job design. As we know, job design is a systematic organization of job-related tasks, responsibilities, functions, and duties. It is a continuous process of integration of content-related job in order to achieve certain objectives. The process plays a vital role as it affects the productivity of employees and organizations. However, there are a number of existing issues emerged recently while designing the jobs in organizations. These are alternative work patterns that are equally effective in handling organizations' function. First, telecommuting or work from home. Telecommuting or work from home is considered as the best alternative of working from the actual office. The concept of virtual office is gaining more and more popularity because of ease and convenience associated with it. By using computer networks, fax machines, telephones, and internet connections, employees can communicate and perform their job from home to eliminate the need of coming to office every day and offer employees the convenience of work at the comfort of their homes. This is most applicable into this situation that we are now in the pandemic. Though there are lots of advantages associated with this working style, but it suffers from many limitations. It allows employees to stay at home and manage their job, tasks, and functions being present in the office, but it doesn't allow them to communicate with other employees and establishing relationships with them. They only deal with machines all day, thus lose creativity. Moreover, it is a great hindrance in their ways as it does not allow skill upgradation. And we can relate this situation. Next is job sharing. It is the second most preferable alternative of traditional working styles where two or more individuals share the responsibilities of a full-time job. They divide the tasks, responsibilities, and compensation according to their mutual consent. This option is generally used by women who are on maternity leave or have family and kids to look after but want to continue their job. These days, organizations are open to this kind of working style where two or more individuals can share a job. Flexi working hours. These days, organizations allow their employees to work according to the timings that suit them best. There are 3 to 4 working schedules and individual can choose any one of them depending upon their availability. Employees can work in early hours as well as night hours. This is good for those individuals who have colleges or some other engagements during the day or specific hours of the day. The best part of that, unlike telecommuting, flexi timings give them chance to communicate with other employees too. Next, alternative work patterns. Companies these days allow their employees to work on alternative month or seasons. These also have the option of working 2 or 3 full days and can relax after that. According to the latest concept, employees can work for fixed number of hours and then can attend to their personal needs during the left days. Next, Technostrees. Technostrees is the latest technology to check on employees' performance even when they choose to work from home. Because of the introduction of a new machine, their performance can be electronically monitored even when we are not aware of it. Next is task revision. Task revision is nothing but modification of existing work design by reducing or adding the new job duties and responsibilities to a specific job. Factors affecting job design. A well-defined job will make the job interesting and satisfying for the employee. The result is increased performance and productivity. If a job fails to appear compelling or interesting and leads to employee dissatisfaction, it means the job has to be redesigned based upon the feedback from the employees. Broadly speaking, the various factors that affect a job design can be classified under 3 heads. Number 1, organizational factors. Number 2, environmental factors. And number 3, behavioral factors. Organizational factors. Organizational factors that affect job design can be work, nature, or characteristics, workflow, organizational practice, and ergonomics. Work, nature. There are various elements of a job, and job design is required to classify various tasks into a job or a coherent set of jobs. The various tasks may be planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, and others, and all these are to be taken into consideration while designing a job. Ergonomics aims at designing jobs in such a way that the physical abilities and individual traits of employees are taken into consideration so as to ensure efficiency and productivity. Next is workflow. Workflow. Product and service type often determines the sequence of workflow. A balance is required between various product or service processes, and a job design ensure this. Culture. Organizational culture determines the way tasks are carried out at the workplaces. Practices are methods or standards laid out for carrying out a certain task. These practices often affect the job design, especially when the practices are not aligned to the interests of the unions. Number 2, environmental factors. Environmental factors affect the job design to a considerable extent. These factors include both the internal as well as the external factors. They include factors like employee skills and abilities, their availability, and their socioeconomic and cultural prospects. Employee availability and abilities. Employee skills, abilities, and time of availability play a crucial role while designing of the jobs. The above-mentioned factors of employees who will actually perform the job are taken into consideration. Designing a job that is more demanding and above their skill set will lead into decreased productivity and employee satisfaction. Next is socio-economic and cultural expectations. Jobs are nowadays becoming more employee-centered rather than process-centered. They are therefore designed keeping the employees into consideration. In addition, the literacy level among the employees is also on the rise. They now demand jobs that are their liking and competency and which they can perform the best. Next is behavioral factors. Behavioral factors or human factors are those that pertain to human needs and that need to be satisfied for ensuring productivity at workplace. They include the elements like autonomy, diversity, feedback, and others. Autonomy. Employees should work in an open environment rather than one that contains fear. It promotes creativity, independence, and leads to increased efficiency. Next is feedback. Feedback should be an integral part of work. Each employee should receive proper feedback about his work performance. Next is diversity. Repetitive jobs often make a work monotonous, which leads to boredom. A job should carry sufficient diversity and variety so that it remains as interesting with every passing day. Job variety or diversity should be given due importance while designing a job. Next is use of skills and abilities. Jobs should be employee rather than process-centered. Though due emphasis needs to be given to the latter, but jobs should be designed in a manner such that an employee is able to make full use of his abilities and perform the job effectively. And that's all of my report. Thank you for being with me, and stay safe.